Hello, welcome back to Beauty Bee and to another dupe tutorial. This time it's going to be on the Lime Crime holiday release, which is the Greatest Hits Bangers shadow palette. I think this is an interesting type of release in that it is a bunch of shades that they already have in various Venus palettes. But I admit that I am not sure if I really like the shades in this palette or if I like the packaging and the aesthetic of it. I mean, I know I like the second part. We're not sure about the first, which is why I'm making this video. So I think that I am going for this look to really try to hit that Lime Crime feel, that sort of grunginess that I think is generally present in most of the palettes. And for that, I'm going to focus on shades that I already own that are quite similar, I think, to Pigeon, which is like a blue-brown duochrome, and Crown, which is a shimmery taupe. So I've already got my eyes primed and I've set the primer with some white eyeshadow. I've done my brows and I've put some base product on, so let's just get into the eyes. And I think what I'm going to start with is the Pigeon shade. And for that, I'm going to go in to this shade, which looks really teal, but is also a blue-brown duochrome. So I didn't actually need a swatch of that. I should take that off before I make a mess. And I'm going to take it on this brush. I'm going to put that fairly close to my lash line on my lid. I've never actually bought anything from Lime Crime. I mean, partially because they have been super problematic since well before I got into makeup, but also because they're just kind of expensive, but also because I feel like there's a real risk with Lime Crime that they're gonna go the way of like Kat Von D and you're gonna have something that you spent quite a bit of money on and then feel a little bit guilty for having it later on. Okay. This is taking me a while, but I really want to get quite a bit of pigment right next to that lash line. But the Lime Crime aesthetic has always really appealed to me. And I think they are probably one of the more influential brands out there. I mean, we can say all we want about Anastasia starting the palette craze with the Modern Renaissance, but the Modern Renaissance looks a lot like the original Venus palette. Can we just say that? And even the concept of having a Modern Renaissance theme, that's awfully like the Venus palettes too. And I think that this palette has really cool packaging in that it's like, you know, a Baroque era still life, but it's got those neon pops. It looks like Memento Mori on an acid trip, which is so cool. Love that. So I've got that blue-brown shade down. I think you can see that. Now I'm going to put Crown, both overlapping it a bit on the lid and then further up to complete the lid and go up into the crease with that as well. So we're going to use this shade. I'm going to get a shader brush to do that. This one. And I'm going to put that both overlapping the blue-brown and above. I feel like I'm not going to build pigment up quite as fast as I want with the brush, but I'll put it on both sides to keep things even before I go in with my finger. It's a little overboard with the blue-brown over there. All right, so now I'm just going same shade with my finger to build up the pigment a bit. Okay, so I like where that is. I think those are really pretty shades together. I like that combination. Now I want to put the shade that is equivalent to, I think, Dreamy in the outer half of my crease, and the shade that is equivalent to In Bloom in the inner half of my crease. I've got the picture of the palette right off camera where I'm looking, if you're wondering what's she watching. So I think I'm going to start with the shade equivalent to In Bloom, which is going to be this shade. I do put the names of all the items that I use in the description box. However, I mean, obviously, the point of this video is that you don't need to buy something new to get a similar look. So, I'm sorry if the light is changing and doing weird things. It's just a really cloudy day. Okay, so that's In Bloom, and now for the outer half of the crease transition area, we're going to go in with this shade, which is Dreamy, I think. It just went, the screen just went dark on me, but I'm pretty sure it's Dreamy. All right. See if I can't fix that blue-brown. Yeah, I think I managed to even that out. Good. Because I don't really want to go in with makeup remover right now. Okay. So I think I want to put some more of blue-brown, not blue-brown, it's called Pigeon, under my eye. And for that, I'm going to use that same brush, load up a little bit more of Pigeon. And just put that under the eye. I think I will add some liner though, as well. Okay, so that's looking good. I do want liner, but I think I'm going to try some dark brown liner, like the shade in the palette, before I try anything black. And for that, I'm going to go into this dark, cool toned brown. Angled liner brush. And I'm going to line along both the upper and lower lash lines, keeping it quite close to the line. Keeping the product quite close to the lashes. Okay. I think I'm going to try the other eye first, and then we can decide if I want to connect the dark brown in the inner corner. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to smudge this side out just a little bit using the shader brush. Okay, that's looking better. And obviously I need to make it match on this side by putting on the top liner. I do like that. I think that's pretty. I think, though, that I do want to connect in the inner corner. Let's go for it. Connect the top and bottom in the inner corner. Okay, yeah, that was a good choice. Cool, so now I'll need mascara, and then I think I'm done with the eyeshadow at least. Okay, I love how that is bringing out my eyes. I think they really stand out and look much bigger than they actually are on my face right now. Okay, so next, I don't want to overwhelm the eyeshadow with anything else. I want to keep everything else fairly muted. So I think I'm going to go in to this Mauve shade that I used in the inner half of my crease. I'm going to take that as blush. We might add a little bit of sort of a nudie pink on top of it, but for right now, I think this is just what I'm going to go for. I want everything to be balanced, so I don't want to leave like my cheeks bare when I've got so much going on the eyes, but at the same time, I think the eyes need to be the focal point of this. Okay. I think I could use a tiny bit more blush probably, but I want to get my lips first and then evaluate. So for that, I actually pulled a couple different lipsticks, but let's see which one. I think this one makes more sense. This is Sassy Mauve from Revlon. You can see it's sort of a muted purpley mauve. And I already had some lip balm on, so it went on fairly sheer. Okay. Yeah, I do think I want a little bit more something on the cheeks. So I think I'm going to go in with my Tarte Harmony blush, which is a nudie pink. It's a little bit, it's a lot bit warmer than what I was using earlier. And I'm just gonna layer that up a little bit. And I think I'll also add some highlights. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Now a tiny, tiny little bit of highlight, which, let's go in to that big Wet n Wild palette again. I think I want to use this peach. This brush. Just getting that on the tip. And blending it right along the tops of my cheekbone. Okay, I think that's looking good. So what is the point of this video? It's not a you don't need this palette, though if you have multiple Venus palettes, you definitely don't. It is a, if there is something that really inspires you about a palette, maybe you don't need to buy it to get the look. Maybe you can just dig in to your current stash, see what you already have, and use that instead. And especially if you do want an item, this can be a very helpful way of figuring out both, would it be redundant in my collection? Is this something that I have a few times over? And as well as, is this something that I would actually like? Like for me, is this Lime Crime Greatest Bangers or whatever a palette that I like for the packaging, or is it something that I like for the looks that it could give me? And I think the answer is probably both, though I'm still going to be skipping over it. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope you will like and subscribe. If you did, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this look, and I would very much love to see you next time.